ever ate someone? This guy did. I haven't. It's against my religion. On December 15th, 1999, Great Falls police got a search warrant to go meet the sickest individual, besides me, they will ever meet. Nathaniel Bar-Jonah, after they found a journal with codes, recipe codes, such as little boy pot pie, French fried boy, and little boy stew. February 6, 1996, 10-year-old Zachary Xerxes Ramsey that lived on 404 South Street was going to school to Whittier Elementary School to meet up with his friends, but he would never show because he's gonna meet this big guy, humongous guy. I would say fat, but you really can't say that word no more. It's considered, I don't even know what it's considered. It's probably just another nonsense. But anyway, let's just don't say it. Let's say huge, King Kong Bundy style guy. And this guy loved to eat. Zachary, such a good boy. He walked to school every day and was a good boy. I wish I had a son like that. But that morning, he walked through this alley on the 400 block behind 5th Avenue, and there was a big dude in a white sedan, and he was hungry. And somewhere between 6th and 7th Ave, poor Zachary disappeared. This is sad. I hate when they come near kids. When I was 5 years old, I almost got kidnapped. I grew up in the 80s and everyone played in the streets in the 80s. It was a different time. I was a street kid, climbing trees, riding bikes. And one time I was playing right in front of my house, and these two guys came and picked me up from behind me with my legs like this. And my best friend's sister and her friend seen that, and they came and they told them, if you don't put them down now, we're gonna scream. So the two men put me down and they left. This is sad. Some people are really sick in this world. Zachary, he never made it to school, so the school called his mother, and his mother called the police. Everyone searched for Zachary. Over hundreds of people searched for him, but they couldn't find him. They found his jeans in a nearby dumpster and his jacket in a nearby field. But Zach would be never seen again. There were actually many witnesses to this crime. A guy that lived near the alley said, yeah, I seen Zach. A family of 3 that lived near the alley said, yeah, we seen Zach running in a white sedan, almost running him over. Another guy said he even seen Zach running and crying. And this, let's not say fat, because you know how politics is. They'll take your channel down. So let's just say something jumbo. Jumbo's considered huge. So, and he's seen this jumbo man running after him. One of the witnesses recognized the guy that was chasing Zachary as Nathaniel Bar-Jonah. To get to Nathaniel Bar-Jonah, we gotta go way back to study him. He was born on February 15, 1957. His name was different back then. It was David Paul Brown, and his parents were Phillip Brown and Tyra Brown. David Paul Brown, a.k.a. Nathaniel Bar-Jonah, had a very naughty record when it came to kids. As a boy, Nathaniel was a bad boy. He loved to eat. He ate so much that he became so overweight that he was immobile. And just at 3 weeks old, he developed hydrocephalus, a condition where fluid fills up your brain and causes brain damage. But he recovered. At the age of 3, Nathaniel and his family moved to Lantana, Florida. His father was a strict, heavy equipment mechanic. And Nathaniel, he was such a bad boy. He loved to steal. He would steal from his siblings and friends, and his father recognized that condition as kleptomania, where a person loves to steal, and he thought that condition would also make him gay, so he would whip him. Nathaniel was just a weird kid. He would pick on his skin and eat it. And the school didn't like that, so they called in his mom many times, but she never took it serious. She thought he was just a kid being a kid. Like when you pick your nose and eat it. Don't do that. That's wrong and dirty. In 1964, Nathaniel and his family moved back to Massachusetts. And one day, he would tell a girl, "You want to see a Ouija board that I got as a gift? It's in my basement." And the girl would reply, "Sure, why not? Let me see it." So he would take her to his basement, and he would actually choke her with that Ouija board. But the girl screamed, "Ah!" And his mommy heard it and came running to the basement and told him, "Boy, what you doing?" And the girl left, and the matter was forgotten. Guys, they call me a monster. Guys, don't let me go at these stories alone. Please like this video, and please subscribe to this channel. God bless you. In 1973, a sickening second incident would take place. Nathaniel would wear something like a police jacket, and he made a note with cut out words from a magazine, and he would see 2 boys, and he would tell them, "Boys, you want to come with me to the cemetery? I'll give you $20 and a surprise." Of course, the boys didn't go. They went and told their mother, but the mother refused to press charges. She said that boy doesn't need prison. He needs psychiatric help. In late March of 1975, Nathaniel, now 18 years old and on the verge of dropping out of high school, would put on his fake police uniform again and go abduct a young boy walking to school named Richard O'Connor. But a woman saw that and she called the police, and the police stopped Nathaniel's car and arrested him. But Richard O'Connor, he was on the verge of death. He was all bloody and basically dying. He urinated on himself. He defecated on himself. And they arrested Nathaniel and only gave him probation and released him. He then traveled to Hartford, Connecticut, and he would put on his fake police uniform again and abduct a young girl. But this girl was something else. She just kept on throwing up. It disgusted him. He told her, "Girl, get out of my car." And he put her on the side of the road and left. But a witness had seen that, and she noted his plate number, and he would be arrested. But his probation officer never found out about that arrest. And in 1976, he would be released from probation with a thank you note for being so cooperative. On September 24th, 1977, Nathaniel put on a fake FBI uniform, and he saw two boys coming out from the White City cinema, and he would abduct them. He took them to a secluded area, and he would torture them. Nathaniel, he didn't even need any weapons to kill these boys. He was a deadly weapon within himself. He was 375 pounds. So he put one of the boys in his trunk, and the other boy, he put him on the ground, and he just started jumping on him, bouncing, until he thought that boy was dead. And then he left with the other boy in his trunk. But that smashed boy on the ground, he managed to come through, and he would go to the police, and they would arrest Nathaniel and sentence him to 18 to 20 years in prison this time. Thank God the two boys survived. Nathaniel, while he was in prison, the prison psychologist realized something's not right with this guy. He had these weird, deranged sexual fantasies that the prison psychologist transferred him to Bridgewater State Hospital to be treated for mental illness. He would stay there for an indefinite term. On March 22nd, 1984, Nathaniel, whose legal name was David Brown, would change his name to Nathaniel Benjamin Levi Bar-Jonah. He wanted to feel how it would feel being discriminated as a Jew. But he's not even Jewish. He's crazy. He just wanted to feel it. Anyway, later that year, Nathaniel would win a parole hearing, and he would be released, walking back out to the world. Just 1 month after being released, on August 9, 1991, Nathaniel was walking near a post office in Oxford, Massachusetts, and he saw a boy waiting in the car alone. He would go open the car door and just start bouncing on the boy's chest. His mom saw that and came out yelling, "Ah!" Nathaniel started fleeing the scene, but later they arrested him. They made a deal with him for just assault and battery, and they gave him only 2 years probation. He was also ordered to go live with his mom in Great Falls, Montana. I really fought for you. Nathaniel managed to slip under the radar until Zachary's vanishing. But trust me, Nathaniel was not a good boy. He ate too much. And this case would be handled by Detective Bill Bellucci. And he would stick on Nathaniel like a shark because Nathaniel was seen by multiple witnesses at the crime scene. Bill Bellucci tried to get multiple warrants to search Nathaniel's house where he lived with his mother, but they were all denied. And then Nathaniel would move out his mother's house. For the next 3 years, it would be a cat and mouse game between Nathaniel and Bellucci. But on December 13, 1999, Bellucci would spot Nathaniel outside an elementary school wearing a fake police uniform. Right then and there, he would arrest him and charge him with impersonating a police officer and carrying a concealed weapon. The judge then gave Bellucci what he wanted: search warrants to search Nathaniel's house and his mother's house. Bellucci would get multiple search warrants for many different things. And what they would discover in that house was just dark. Nathaniel loved to eat. They found photo albums of children, they found bondage stuff, and they found the list. Lake Webster list, a list containing the names of 54 boys. Detectives discovered on February 6, 1996, Nathaniel didn't go to work. That was the day Zachary vanished. They also discovered Nathaniel's mom and his brother were out of town on a funeral, and Nathaniel's mom had left her off-white 1978 Toyota Corolla with Nathaniel. The Lake Webster list contained all the names of the people Nathaniel assaulted, and the last name on the list was Zachary Ramsey, and the word dead right next to his name. They found a recipe book, a journal with these weird codes, and they also found 3,500 photos of children, plus 3 undeveloped films with 3 unidentified boys showing Nathaniel having a sexual act with them. Police would interview Nathaniel's roommates. One former roommate said he had seen clothes matching Zachary's clothes and a bloody glove. And the other roommate said one time Nathaniel said, "That boy Zachary, he's never gonna be found. His body is probably dismembered all over the place." Police discovered a big piece of plywood in the garage. They believed it was used as a cutting board. They also sprayed luminol in the rooms to look for blood, and on the floor, they saw the name Tata. They linked it to James Tata, the boy that was raped and strangled in 1973 in New Hampshire. Police also discovered when Zachary vanished, Nathaniel had a big barbecue for his neighbors, and he fed them deer meat. The neighbors felt the meat was off. Nathaniel told them, "Guys, don't worry, I hunted those deers myself." And I'm sure he did. Police also discovered through credit card record that when Zachary vanished, Nathaniel didn't go food shopping for a whole month. When detectives looked at Nathaniel's meat grinder, they found human hair. When they dug up his old residency, they found 21 bones of a boy. DNA would show what they found were 2 African American boys, but they never knew who they were, and none of them were Zach. Also, the pipes in his house were always replaced because they were always clogged up. Nathaniel did crimes to so many boys, but he was going to trial for only 3 boys. But Zachary's mother refused to believe Zachary was dead because a psychic told her he was still alive, living in Italy. Anyway, the Zachary case was dropped due to lack of evidence, so now detectives and prosecutors had to focus on the other boys. Detectives got 2 names of 2 boys that lived in the same apartment building as Nathaniel. These names were taken from the Lake Webster list. They were also on the film that detectives had seized from Nathaniel's apartment. One boy said Nathaniel invited us to a sleepover and molested us, while the other boy said, "Nah, Nathaniel's my friend, he never did that," and that boy actually visited Nathaniel in jail. For all the crimes Nathaniel did, he would be given 130 years in prison without the possibility of parole. And in 2008, he would die in prison from a heart attack. I'm Ahmed Bassioni, and I want to thank each one of you guys for watching today's video. Please comment your opinion about the story below, and please like, share, and subscribe. God bless you. I'm out of this joint!